Hey guys, today we're gonna go over kind of the second video. We alluded to boots and some other things, how to lace them. I actually went through the whole process to show you, so I definitely want to go ahead and take you through that process. There's a couple, these are both laced differently. The red is a bungee, and it's really, I chose red not because I want to look like jack boots, so for any idiot that's talking about that, like, we can just shut up with the comments on that one. So the red is to highlight how it's been laced, and there's different. So I did this in buds. This is what I did in buds. This is what I've kind of been fiddling with and trying, seeing if I like better. So what you're seeing here is these boots. These are the Nike boots. These are the issued Nike boots. I have red bungee, okay? It doesn't say the size of it, but it's essentially a cord you get like at a fabric store, Michael's, Amazon, whatever it might be. It's the same thickness as the shoelace. It's just stretchy. Okay. The other thing I have is I have like one of these little double toggle like depressible springs, right? And that's what it's going to retain the lace. They're called the lace retainers, I believe, is what this is called. These are called black clip double hold, whatever, Amazon. Look up shoelace holder, shoelace retainer. There's a couple different kinds. And then we have the caps. This little thing bends and it'll snap on the end of it's like a shoelace end keep. Okay, so that's what I have. That's what I've got, these things. You got like a 10 pack of these on Amazon for like $6. That's all that was. You know, a 10, 12 pack of these for like $6. I got a spool of this for like $8, $9. You can buy them all together called lace locks, and they're $9 a pop, but I figured, shoot, man, I'll just kind of make my own. Anyways, getting to it. The first one I tried is I laced the entire thing up with the red bungee, with the end lock and then the little spring depressor. Because the idea is like you are being rushed at selection, like hurry up, get changed, get out, like craziness, hurry up and throw these fucking boots on. Well, you got wet feet that stick, like we're trying to put shoes in here, like oh crap, right? If we can get this thing, like when we take the boot off, there tends to be less urgency at selection taking the stuff off. Like because typically you'll show up to the evolutions a couple minutes early, stage your gear, get in line, get prepped. And if you're at the pool, you're taking all your stuff off, putting it in your bag in a certain order. So the first thing I do is I grab there's an order to that. And that's the other thing too, is you want to pack your bag in a certain order. So when you're trying to get out of there, the first thing you're grabbing isn't your top, right? Like for me, I work from my ground up. First thing I want to put on was my socks. Then I put on my pants. Why? Because when I get my wet feet socks on, then I can get my pants and shoes on quick. The first thing was socks. I'd stick my socks in my shoe, right? And then I pack it. But with this bungee, right, I can hurry up, bam. I can slide this thing on pretty damn quick. It's retained. I can jam my this right here is called the spat. S-P-A-T. This is the spat of the boot. So we basically have a shoe with a spat that keeps sand away. That's the idea. So we blouse our pants into the boot. We don't blouse our boots. We blouse our pants, and then this cinches down, okay? And that's what I like. So the other thing is what I did is I square knotted the bottom. I basically turned this into 2 shoes. I took this part of the shoe and was like, hey, that's like kind of a nice running shoe. So I put a nice square knot into it. That's all that is. It's a square knot. Right it there. Why? Why a square knot? Because when you get to buds, you'll know why a square knot. It holds, it won't come untied. When it's wet, it'll stay tied typically. It's a good knot, okay? So essentially, and then I've taken this upper part and made it the stretchy sand spat, right? And so now I'm putting my foot right into a tennis shoe that's already pre-laced to my footbed, and all I have is this. So this is what I did in buds. And it slides. Once we get that foot in, it pops right in. Now I'm basically wearing a tennis shoe with totally free ankle, see? So now all I'm gonna do is put my pants down in this thing, and it won't have to be cinched down too tight. And now, even with this thing down, see, I've got full ankle flexion because I haven't girded down the foot, I haven't girded down the ankle, and right, that spat isn't limiting, see? We don't need to clamp this thing down because then I won't be able to flex my ankle very well in soft sand or rough terrain. We want to have a free moving ankle. This is not for ankle support. Not. This is to keep shit out of your boot. This is what that's all this is to keep stuff out of your boot. This is not for ankle support. So try them out. Like don't try this when you get to buds. If you have boots and you're kind of running and rucking, lace them up, try them differently so that when you get there, maybe you have to play the game and you're not fucking with your shoes for a week or two. But then you get out of Hell Week or something, or I did this day one. I had 2 pair of the Bates lights. We didn't have Nikes, I had 2 pair. So I set one up that was always kind of clean and drying, the one that I wore that day. So whichever one was dry that day, I put on. I had a boot dryer. As soon as you walked into our room at Buds, I had a boot dryer. And our boots were sitting on that. We're always just rotate our boots around. So that's what we did. I'm sure that it's probably similar, right? I wouldn't use red. I would buy black. Again, the red is just for the visual for you guys can see. I would definitely use black bungee and I would mess with it. Like you're gonna find that if you bungee up your shoes like this or lace them in 2 little compartments, you're basically just taking this crappy boot and turning into an okay running shoe. Like, it's really not a bad toe box. It's not terrible. It's really not too narrow. I think that the heel lift on this is probably 11 to 14, which is fine in sand. It's good. It's not bad for running. Like, that's what we do wanna, if we're gonna be in a heel rise and we have to be in a heel rise, well, like this is not a bad one. So if you're gonna try this, like I said, my encouragement is to try this before you go to Buds or as soon as you get to Buds. Don't be this another thing that you trying to figure out day one of first phase, right? We don't wanna, it's like the same moniker as like you don't wanna wear a brand new pair of running shoes for the first time when you're doing your first marathon, right? We wanna have experienced what these footwear is gonna do. So I would really encourage you to do this. Especially if you're gonna train in boots. I don't recommend training in boots, but if you are, you're gonna ruck in boots and these things, make sure your ankle can move really freely. And if it doesn't, start finding different ways to lace it so we can still keep that heel in place, the foot's not sliding around, and we don't get a bunch of dirt and sand and shit into our boots.